times, a couple of times within just a few days, and I'm sure many more times than that as we get to welcome in a part of ESPN's great coverage. Of course, on the call always there is Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff, you think you'll get enough to talk about with LeBron against the Warriors on Christmas Day?
Yeah, I think we'll have beaten that subject to death far before Christmas Day, and then during Christmas Day, and then after. So, yeah, it should be a great Christmas. Those games look very exciting.
And, Jeff, with those games being so excited, for you being up close, is there one team or one player outside of LeBron who's changed teams you're looking forward to seeing play?
I am really looking forward to seeing how the Carmelo Anthony to Houston works out. I think it's a fascinating move, both for he and the team. They lost some defensive-oriented perimeter players, and now they've added one of the great scorers of all time who looked a little bit unhappy in Oklahoma City, and I wonder, how it's going to change the dynamics of Houston, both locker room and on the court. I'm just interested and fascinated by that move.
Part of that schedule on Christmas, I guess the Mellow Bowl here, Jeff, when you look at the Thunder against the Rockets. How about Oklahoma City, whether it's because of Mello or not? How much better do you think they'll be this year now that Paul George has decided to stay?
Well, I think they're an interesting team. I don't think they're an overly talented team. I think Robertson injury hurt him last year. Paul George, I think, was more banged up than he let on, which impacted his practice time and also his game performance. So he and Westbrook are going to have to be really good. I think they were able to change their direction, but I think, the Schroeder thing, and you guys might know him better than, certainly I do because I haven't watched him that much. I'm interested to see how his impact of speed and a secondary ball handler, how it improves Oklahoma City, particularly when he plays with Westbrook.
And Jeff, staying on the Western Conference, how does a team like Utah, with the way Donovan Mitchell played last year and their defense when they're healthy, could they be another team in the Western Conference that shocks people next year?
Well, I think the shock was this year, Dennis. I think he was so good right out of the gate, and they were so good. Really, if Gobert doesn't go down, I think their win total would have been higher. I think they're going to play exceptionally well because, like you said, their defense is going to anchor them. They're going to be very consistent, and I think they're going to be a tough out for anybody they play in the playoffs.
Jeff, before we let you run, the Beast and LeBron has left the East. Celtics and Sixers, going to be a lot of talk about those two teams. Do you look at the East as the Celtics to lose? How do you see Philadelphia and Toronto in that mix?
Well, I don't think you should forget about Toronto. Obviously, they're an outstanding team. The big trade this summer, Kawhi Leonard's health, obviously, are the keys. But I think Boston has the most physical talent. I'm going to be very interested to see how they work through the glut of wing players that they have. Can they keep everybody excited and happy in their role? They're going to be very well coached. And I think in Philly, they're an outstanding team. I'm interested to see how Ben Simmons has improved in year two of his career. And then Markelle Fultz, can he bounce back from what was a very strange season?
Jeff, appreciate it. Going to be a lot of excitement. Enjoy the rest of your summer and the break between now and then. Always appreciate your time.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, there's Jeff Van Gundy. DZ, obviously Christmas Day has given us some great battles, we think, over the last number of years about the reuniting of the Cavaliers and the Warriors. What are you looking forward to?
After talking to Charles and talking to Jeff, I'm starting to lean more just watching the Celtics because they have, like Jeff just said, they have so many wing players, so much talent. Tatum and Brown grew so much in front of our eyes over the playoffs. I kind of agree with Charles. From a competitive spirit nature, welcome back, Kyrie, welcome back, Gordon. I'm not going to give you everything I just worked for. Unfortunately, you were injured. We get that. But I think it's a fascinating thing that Brad Stevens has to figure out. How do I get all this talent to play together every night. You bring back Marcus Smart. We know how much Brad Stevens loves him, being your Swiss Army knife, doing everything you want for your team. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to see how they figure that out.
All right, case in point, start explaining, give some months to the family why you won't pay attention to them on Christmas. We've got a lot more to come. Ring night is to come for the Warriors. Is another one to come in their future. It'll be game time for Carmelo Anthony, but not with the Oklahoma City Thunder as we knew, nor with Atlanta. Finally verbally agreeing as we expected with the Houston Rockets. How does he fit in? One of the major questions, because where you play him is going to be something to look at between now and during camp.
Great point you bring up, Casey, and I know a lot of Melo fans have been talking about this, but let's call it what it really is. In D'Antoni's system, it's going to be James Harden pick and roll with Capella, Chris Paul pick and roll with Capella. Where will Carmelo be? In either one of those corners if he's at the 3, but I think P.J. Tucker will move over to the 3, Melo will be at the 4, so he'll probably be at the wing. Now, when Kid Capella rolls to the basket, now Carmelo's rolling up to the top of the key area, catching that swing back pass. Now he can go one-on-one. I think he fits into the system well that way.
And we don't have time, so we won't talk about the defense. Because no Ariza, no Bamute,
I get,
Melo.
You know what's so funny is, yes, Trevor Ariza is a better defender than Carmelo, but I know Carmelo will give you the effort at least. Maybe a better rebounder. Maybe not be a one-on-one defender, but I know Carmelo at this point in his career will give you the effort.
I know this. We effort to show you more of the games and the schedule because on the list for MLK Day on TNT, right there you see the Houston Rockets in Philadelphia, a team that's going to be talked about a lot. And I think the improvement of Ben Simmons from last year to this year with the shot, I think almost, if not as important as the Markelle Fultz story for the Sixers this year.
Very interesting because both guys need the ball in their hands to be effective. Yes, you want Ben to be a better outside shooter. We also want Ben to continue to work on being a better leader, knowing time and situation, when to get the ball to certain people. Because sometimes as young players, Casey, you've seen this, we've talked about you cannot do this. Then you come back the next year trying to do too much of it. Work on your shot, continue to be a better leader, and make sure the big fella eats.
You know, we talk about guys improving. We've talked Warriors-Lakers a lot during this show because they'll play a lot on national TV. MLK Day will have them on TNT. But speaking of guys improving, Lonzo Ball doesn't get talked about a lot. A year ago, that was a huge story for us to open the season. How much are you looking forward to seeing his improvement now and his interactions with LeBron?
Well, once he figures out what's going on with the knee, he's come back from the surgery, gets 100%. I hope he's living in the gym. And people, what I mean by it, because the ball's not going to be in your hands. It's going to be in LeBron's hands. Hopefully Luke Walton figures out a way to get better ball movement playing with LeBron. But if you're not in the gym working on your jump shot, knocking down wide open shots, you're setting yourself up for failure because that's what it is when you play with LeBron James. Be ready to catch and shoot.
Your midseason form.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
Leave it.
We got more coming up. Schedule release special. 3D and I will be back for that as well.
We are coming back?
That's the rumor.
There's another schedule?
Unless there's something in my locker I don't know.
Hold on, we got 2 schedules coming out?
We got 2 schedules. This is the full schedule.
Oh.
Today was just the big date schedule.
Now you tell me.
This is the other schedule.
Oh,
yeah.
Now you tell me.
How about LeBron debuts? We'll take a look back and maybe what to expect in the one to come this time around. Coming up on GameTime.
LeBron.
The next debut with a new club, the Lakers for LeBron. We look back at debuts of the past. Not bad, 2003, I would say. 25 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Look how young he was.
Wow, just amazing that 15 years have gone by. He's gotten better and better. And this past year, arguably could be his best year ever.
31 points in the debut with the Heat. Certainly not scared about making a good first impression. How about the Cleveland debut in 2014? Part 2 in Cleveland. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. But he got the championship, so he doesn't care about the debut.
No, he doesn't.
Going to take longer to get the championship here, though, right?
No question about it. We know the young talent's there. How long does it take for them to adjust? Say it again, fans. It will take a period for these guys to adjust to LeBron James. LeBron's not adjusting to them. They have to adjust to him. And once they do that, along with Luke Walton, things will get better in Lakerland.
You think Jack getting his outfits ready, knowing now that he's going to be back on national TV all the time?
Like, go LeBron.
Oh, boy. We'll be back on Friday to
Sorry.
unleash the rest of the schedule. We're hiding it in the back in an envelope.
back there?
Yeah, it's back there.
Let me go see if I can find that thing.
See ya. Bye, DZ.